manifestation, and chapter 9, answers by citing the Lord's version, and text 18. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So here this verse, I'm increasing the font size. Okay, hope this is better. 18. Taddarshanaladha pariplutantaro rushyatanu prema bhara sulochana nanama padambujamasya vishvasrug yat paramahamsyena pathadhigamyate. Taddarsanalada pariplutantaro rushyatanu prema bhara sulochana nanama padambujamasya vishvasrug yat paramahansyena pathadhigamyate. Taddarsanalada pariplutantaro rushyatanu prema bharasru lochana nanama padambujamasya vishvasru yat paramahansyena pathadhigamyate. Please recite.
Taddarshanahlada pariplutantaro rishyatanu prema bharashru lochana nanama padam bhujamasya vishvasrig yat paramahansyena pathadhigamyate.
Thank you.
Taddarshanahlada pariplutantaro rushyatanu prema bharasrulochana nanama padambujamasya vishvashreg yad paramahamsyena patadigamyate.
Thank you. Anyone else want to try?
Taddarshanahlada pariplutanataro rishyatanu prema bharashrulochana nanama padambujam asya vishvakshrik yat paramahamsayena patadhigamyate. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Darshana nalabdha pariputantaro rishyatanu prema parashrulochana nanama padambujamasya vishvashrik yat paramaham yesna patagdigamyate.
Hare Krishna. Taddarshanahlada pariplutantaro rishyatanu prema bharashulochinaha nanama padambujamasya vishvasrik yat paramhansyena pathadhigamyate. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? Okay, so we can do the synonyms. Tat, by that audience of the Lord. Darsana, audience. Allada, joy. Paripluta, overwhelmed. Antaraha, within the heart. Rishyat, full in ecstasy. Tanu, body. Prema bhara, in full transcendental love. Asru, tears. Lochana, in the eyes. Nanama, bowed down. Pada ambujam, under the lotus feet. Asya, of the Lord. Visvasrik, the creator of the universe. Yat, which. Paramahansyena, by the great liberated souls. Patha, the path. Adhigamyate, is followed. Translation: Lord Brahma, thus seeing the personality of Godhead in his fullness, was overwhelmed with joy within his heart, and thus, in full transcendental love and ecstasy, his eyes filled with tears of love. He thus bowed down before the Lord. That is the way of the highest perfection for the living being, Paramahamsas. Purport. In the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that this great literature is meant for the Paramahamsas. Parama Nirmasaranam Satam, that is, the Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for persons completely free from malice. In the conditioned life, the malicious life begins from the top, namely, bearing malice against the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Personality of Godhead is an established fact in all the revealed scriptures, and in the Bhagavad Gita, the personal feature of the Supreme Lord is especially mentioned, so much so that the last portion of the great literature has emphatically stressed that one should surrender into the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be saved from the miseries of the life. Unfortunately, persons with impious backgrounds do not believe in the Personality of Godhead, and everyone wants to become God himself without any qualification. This malicious nature in the conditioned soul continues even up to the stage when a person wants to be one with the Lord. And thus, even the greatest of the empiric philosophers, speculating on becoming one with the Supreme Lord, cannot become a Paramhamsa, because the malicious mind is there. Therefore, the Paramahamsa stage of life can be attained only by those who are fixed in the practice of Bhakti Yoga. This Bhakti Yoga begins if a person has a firm faith, firm conviction that simply discharging devotional service to the Lord in full transcendental love can elevate him to the highest perfectional stage of life. Brahmaji believed in this art of Bhakti Yoga. He believed in the instructions of the Lord to execute tapa, and he discharged the function with great penance and thus achieved the great success of seeing the Vaikuntha Lokas. And the Lord also by personal experience. No one can reach the abode of the Supreme Lord by any mechanical means of the mind or machine. But one can reach the abode of the Vaikuntha Lokas, simply by following the process of Bhakti Yoga, because the Lord can be realized only through the Bhakti Yoga process. Lord Brahmaji was actually sitting on his lotus seat. And from there, by executing the process of Bhakti Yoga in great seriousness, he could see the Vaikuntha Lokas with all variegatedness, as well as the Lord in person and his associates. Anyone wants to read the second paragraph? Okay. Following in the footsteps of Lord Brahma, any person, even up to this day, can attain the same perfection by following the path of Paramahamsa as recommended herein. Lord Chaitanya also approved of this method of self-realization for man in this age. One should first, with all conviction, believe in the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, and without making efforts to realize him by speculative philosophy, one should prefer to hear about him from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and later from the text of the Srimad Bhagavatam. One should hear such discourses from a person Bhagavatam and not from the professional man or from the karmi, jnani or yogi. That is the secret of learning the science. One does not need to be in the renounced order of life. He can remain in his present condition of life, but he must search out the association of a bona fide devotee of the Lord and hear from him the transcendental message of the Lord with faith and conviction. That is the path of Paramahamsa. That is the path of the Paramahamsa recommended herein. Amongst various holy names of the Lord, he is also called Ajita, or one who can never be conquered by anyone else. Yet, he can be conquered by the Paramahamsa path. As practically realized and shown by the great spiritual master, Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma has personally recommended this Paramahamsa Pantha in his own words as follows. Jnane prayasam udapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartam sthane stitas sutigatam tanuvan manovir ye prayasa jita pi asi tais trailakyam. Lord Brahma said, O my Lord Krishna, a devotee whom abandons the path of empiric philosophical speculation aimed at merging in the existence of the Supreme and engage himself in hearing your glories and activities from a bona fide sadhu or saint, and who lives an honest life in the occupational engagement of his social life, can conquer your sympathy and mercy even though you are ajita or unconquerable. Bhagavatam 10.14.3. This is the path of the Paramhamsas, which are personally followed by Lord Brahma and later recommended by him for attaining perfect success in life. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirbhisesa Sunyavadi Paschyata Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Lord Brahma, thus seeing the personality of Godhead in his fullness, was overwhelmed with joy within his heart, and thus, in full transcendental love and ecstasy, his eyes filled with tears of love. He thus bowed down before the Lord. That is the way of the highest perfection of the living being, Paramhamsas. Hare Krishna. Good morning. I would like to seek blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas, senior Vaishnavas. To summarize and share what I understand, then we can open up. You can also, this is a very wonderful verse. You can also share. And so in the previous chapter, Parikshit Maharaj put forward several questions, further questions and inquiries from Sukadeva Goswami. And in that he stated it also that Brahma, who is born of the material source, he mentioned that, this is the Parikshit Maharaj mentioned this. He's born not of a material source, but of the lotus flower coming out of the navel abdomen of the Lord. Brahma is coming, and who is the creator of all material born. And he mentioned that, yes, so you all know, Brahma was being a first living entity. He was confused. Interestingly, he had no guide also. He had no guide, no counselor, no guru. No, he was searching. He was searching for the answers. In contrary, at least, we have, so many guidance by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada now. So many proper guidance, actually, at this time we have it. But Brahma's time, he was searching all over, where did I come from? Where's my beginning? Where does this lotus begins from? So when he first got this inspiration, from the two syllables, tapa, so he took it very seriously. He performed this tapa, penance. And by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, because of his sincere practice, he was able to see the Lord. Not only the Lord, but whole Vaikuntha Loka was revealed to him. Whole Vaikuntha Loka is revealed to him. And this is, very firmly stated here. Very instructive for all of us, that how he practiced with conviction and he achieved the results. Every one of us can attain without any doubt. Same potency is there. So, however, here Prabhupada, in his purport, he wants certain things here. Many things has been stated. From the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, he stated that this Paramahamsas, as Brahma has become Paramahamsa, this Paramahamsas is for, this Srimad Bhagavatam is for Paramahamsas. Then we can ask, I'm not a Paramahamsa. But by regularly serving Srimad Bhagavatam with completely free from malice, one can become Paramahamsa. Many times I understand that there's 12 Mahajanas are mentioned in Bhagavatam, right? Mahajana yena gata sapanta. So my understanding is not just 12 Mahajanas, that's it. By following their footstep, also one can become Mahajana. I can be corrected. That's the way I understand. When we follow, then one can, because they are the authority. They have realized they perfected life by practicing bhakti yoga. By following the process, by following their footsteps, by serving them, one can attain the same. In ISKCON, and there's this conflict in different groups that Prabhupada is only pure devotee, pure guru. No one is qualified. Then the other devotees, ask this question: if Prabhupada's process cannot make pure devotees, then what is the point of having that process? Rupa Goswami, in his Upadesamrita, first instruction he writes, Vacho vega manasa krodha vega jiva vega madrapasta vegan etan vegan sabisyat dhiran sarvam apimam prithivim sasisyat. By following this process as given, one can perfect. Following process is very important. So even though it is for Paramahamsas, even though I am not a Paramahamsa at this time, but following this process by completely, free from malice, one can attain that path. Now, next paragraph Prabhupada writes, this maliceness is there within us from beginning, because We came to this world being envious of the Supreme Lord. So someone may ask, in what is the guarantee? What is the proof that we came as envious? Well, we can look into our lives now. We can look. We always compete with others now in materially, and we try to become envious. So that nature, that is called enviousness. It has been deeply rooted from beginning of my coming in association of this material world. That is malice against the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we do not accept that God, there's a God, someone called God as a person exists. It's understanding and accepting the personality of God is also not very easy. Even after hearing so much, many times we hear that. So, but the personality of Godhead is an established fact in all revealed scriptures. Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhupada writes that specifically mentions in the last portion, Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam saranam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayisami masacha. Krishna is saying, you surrender unto me, I'll take care of you. Krishna is not saying you surrender unto the impersonal aspect of mind. He says, surrender unto me. But that acceptance of the Lord as a person is not very easy also. Even if many don't want to accept it because we are envious of it. How can we accept someone better than us? Now, how can we accept someone better than us? It's not very easy. So there's a constant fight in this world. Prabhupada says, unfortunately, persons with impious backgrounds do not believe in the personality of Godhead, and everyone wants to become God himself without any qualification. So this interesting point Prabhupada writes. Everyone wants to become God himself without any qualification. And who can have a qualification of become God anyway, except Krishna? Even if you try, no one can be qualified to become God. We can be qualified to become godly, not to become God. Everyone wants to because of impious backgrounds. Persons with impious backgrounds. So then he says, the malicious nature in the conditioned soul continues even up to the stage of when a person wants to be one with God. Basically, there are several practices of several transcendentalists. They all are transcendentalists because even though they're impersonalists, they're transcendentalists because they want understand the nature of these three modes and they want to free from and those impersonalists because of their enviousness, they don't accept the Lord as a person. They want to merge in him. They want equal to him. So many times people may challenge at the beginning, hey, how come you're blaspheming to other practices? The reason is the other practices, sometimes some of the practices, they promote to become equal to God, which is contradiction to God's definition. Janmadi yasya yataha, from whom everything emanates. He is the God. One who maintains everyone, he is the God. One who supplies everyone's needs, fulfills desire, he is the God. Janmadi yataha. But in impersonalist path, there's a promotion happens that, by practicing, you can become God. Where this verse does not accept. He says, no, our goal is by perfecting this path, you become Paramahamsa. You become Paramahamsa. So one cannot become Paramhamsa. Paramhamsa means it applies for only for devotees, according to this. And Paramhamsa has been utilized, the title has been given in other practices. Nowadays anything can happen. Mahatma is used everywhere, Paramhamsa is used everywhere, and all these, Guru is used everywhere, whether one is qualified or not. So therefore, the Paramahamsa stage of life can be attained only by those who are fixed in the practice of Bhakti Yoga. By practicing Bhakti Yoga, Brahma has attained the Paramahamsa stage. And what is Paramahamsa stage? We can look at the purport here. Paramahamsa stage means realizing the Supreme Lord is a person and is able to see his abode. One gets transcendently full with love of ecstasy. One really experiences that transcendental love realization. That's Paramahamsa. But impersonalists cannot have this kind of experience, seeing the transcendental form of the Lord. That's why there is no question of becoming Paramahamsa. And now how can we attain? This Bhakti Yoga begins if a person has a firm conviction that simply by discharging devotional service to the Lord in full transcendental love can elevate him to the highest perfection of life. So at the beginning, Prabhupada writes that, this Srimad Bhagavatam is for Paramahamsas. Then how come we are able to practice? Yeah, at the beginning, we need to have a faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, firm conviction in the devotional service, Bhakti Yoga practice. Then, by following the process, one will attain the same stage. Brahmaji believed in this art of Bhakti Yoga. He believed in the instruction of Lord to execute tapa, and he discharged the function with great penance and thus achieved the great success of seeing the Vaikuntha Loka. Interesting, he could see, he could see immediately enough, not immediately, after 1,000 years of celestial years of practicing of penance. Dhruva Maharaj could see in few months. He could not see the Vaikuntha Loka, but he could see the Lord personally manifested in front of his eyes. A great devotees has seen. So Rupa Goswami teaches us that how we should practice this bhakti is we have to have patience, enthusiasm, patience, and determination. Oh, after so much of practice, so much of chanting, so long I've been associated, still I'm not seeing the form of the Lord. For everything, there's a process. I know we become many times very impatient. But if you follow the Brahma's path, how long he had to perform tapa. So he discharged the function with great penance and thus achieved the great success of seeing Vaikuntha Lokas, and the Lord also by personal experience. So he saw the Vaikuntha Loka, he saw the Lord, he saw the residents, how do they look like, what is the beauty of it, everything he could see it, revealed. No one can reach the abode of Supreme Lord by any mechanical means. This is a statement, yeah. No, not by any other means. Basically, not by mechanical means or by mental speculation in anywhere else. Which this world is trying to realize through their material senses. They cannot see it. Only by Bhakti Yoga, practiced without malice, free from any ulterior motive, one can realize. So, in the next paragraph, it says that Okay, Brahma saw it. I know that great souls, they saw it. They were able to realize this. But Prabhupada assures that by following in the footsteps of Brahma, any person, even up to this day, can attain the same perfection by following the path of the Paramahamsa as recommended herein. Lord Chaitanya also approved of this method of self-realization for man in this age. Of this method of self-realization. What is that? One should first, with all conviction, believe in the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, and without making any efforts to realize him, any speculative philosophy. One should prefer to hear about him from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we know that, first is we come with faith and we hear from a Bhakta Bhagavata, or we read from Bhagavad Gita, come across Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. One should hear such discourses from a person Bhagavata and not from a professional man. Nowadays it become like very much showcase, how many people have come to your program, and Lord Krishna's intimate, which is confidential pastimes was being spoken. Those are the primary, and we get attracted and allured. But it says that one should hear such discourses from a person Bhagavatam and not from the professional man or from the Karmi Jnani. So this is the secret of learning the science. Now, next statement is, Grihatako Banitaka, one doesn't have to be in the renounced order of life. He can remain in his present condition of life, but he must search out the association of a bona fide devotee of the Lord. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in South India tour, I think there's a Brahmin who was very much inspired, influenced by the Lord. And immediately he said that, I want to, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was leaving, he said that, oh, I want to come with you. I give up everything. I want to come with you. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, you can stay here, take care of your family, and chant Hare Krishna, follow regulatory principles, read Srimad Bhagavatam, perfect your life. Escaping from responsibility doesn't make one advanced spiritually. Just for the sake of running away from the responsibility and trying to hide oneself in a environment set up, among monks and ashramas, thinking that, in ashramas, if you take brahmacharya ashram or sannyas ashram, you don't have to do anything. That also doesn't give any kind of perfection. That's why during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave equal importance. Even Ramananda Rai, who's a Grahastha, and with 6 Goswamis are sannyasis. So in front of Lord Chaitanya's eyes, Ramananda Rai is very highly situated. Ashram is only meant for one's perfection when we follow in that ashram perfectly. In India, still now there's a perception, till now, because that's we have been conditioned for a long time. A sadhu means the one who wears a saffron cloth, because we don't know how to. We fail to understand what is sadhu, who is sadhu. We fail to understand. So only we go by the dress. And by the name of dress, it happens so much of disturbances in the society. So one does not need to be in renounced order of life. He can remain in his present condition of life, but he must search out for the association of a bona fide devotee of the Lord and hear from him the transcendental message of the Lord with faith and conviction. That is the path of Paramahamsa recommended herein. So the Lord is called another, out of many names, he's called Ajita. Ajita means who cannot be conquered by any means. His name is Ajita, but still he is Jita. Because the bhakti itself is so powerful, that it controls even Lord. Lord's name itself fails. Ajita becomes Jita by the pure devotional service of the devotees. Anyone who renders pure devotional service to the Lord immediately reciprocates with them and becomes conquered by them. So that's why he says, yet he can be conquered by the Paramhamsa path. Paramhamsa path means practicing of the bhakti without any kind of malice. Anya vilasita sinyam jnana karmadi anivritam. Within that anya vilasita and within that jnana and karma, there's so many subtle conditions are there. It's not very easy. It's not very easy. We have to know all our anarthas. We want to make sure that our intentions, as Gauranga was mentioning, we have to know our intentions are very clear what I'm coming for. Am I seeking for Paramhamsa path? Or am I seeking for still, I came to Hare Krishna, name, fame, recognition, adoration, everything I'm looking for. So Brahma's last quote, Prabhupada writes here from Bhagavatam again. Lord Brahma said, O my Lord Krishna, a devotee who abandons the path of empiric philosophical speculation aimed at merging in the existence of the Supreme and engages himself in hearing your glories and activities from a bona fide sadhu or saint. Okay, one should be free from any kind of aspiration to become merged in mental speculation, liberation. That has to be free from it. Here, desiring to hear the glories are from a bona fide sadhu, bona fide devotee. Then he says, who lives an honest life in the occupational engagement in the social. Certain practices, they don't focus in your personal life. They see how much donation you give. How much donation you give. Oh, you can do whatever you want as long as you give donation to us. Well, I remember when we used to in programs in Delaware, I was very much confused. How come to raise funds? There are, we had to we had this program just like in Philadelphia. We had it. What do you call this brochures, advertisements? We do it. So some of the liquor shops they wanted to sponsor. And it was like a sankat for me. What should I do now? I was like, oh no way! I don't want any kind of money from them, and there's no way we can advertise them. That was very stand. But recently, so many people are donating. What can I do? But we don't advertise for them. But here, it says that who lives an honest life in the occupational engagement of his social life. That's also very important. Upanishads explains very simple. Even if you honest life, you have so much of wealth, you should take what is your necessity only. One should not aspire more than that. He can conquer your sympathy and mercy, even though you are ajit or unconquerable. Simple but little conditional, and that conditions can be cleared by the mercy of association of pure devotees. So, in summary, we can see that the goal of life is, we can learn from Brahma, is to perform tapa. Interestingly, Brahma, as soon as he came, I don't see anything like he got an opportunity to enjoy the life like different way. But for us, so we had taken so many yonis already. We have taken so many yonis already in different life. We enjoyed in different way. And this time also, when we say, give one life to Krishna, we say, oh, I have to balance my life. We are not ready to accept the path very seriously, because deep desire in sense enjoyment. But the goal of life is to perform tapa, and we surrender the personal form. We should be completely free from that understanding that Lord is impersonal imagination. He's a person. He's a seeing person. In the morning Srimad Bhagavatam class, we're reading on 10th canto now at this time. And this we have a reading group. One person relatively new, but he has difficulty to understand God as is transcendental, and because they're challenging when there's a conversation, there's a lila happen between Krishna and the gopis. He says, oh, this seems like physical. Yeah, it's a physical activity, but it's not material. The Lord is also a person, but is Satchidananda Vigraha. And only by devotees, Paramhamsas, only by devotional service, one can understand and realize this in this life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this process is very, very easy. Even though Krishna says, out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection. And of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, he made it very easy actually, Bhakti was very, very rare. And now we can see, with little association of devotees, one can take to devotional service very easily. He made it very easy, simply by offenseless chanting and regularly hearing from bona fide devotees from Srimad Bhagavatam. One can attain the same perfection as Lord Brahma. That is from Bhagavatam Prabhupada's assurance. One has to have a patience in this path. And one has to have Vyavasayatmak Buddhi. One has to be very clear, excuse me, what I'm here for. That's also very important, what I'm here for. And due course of time, he says, one will have all these ecstatic symptoms as Brahma has developed. All these ecstasies are manifested. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says in 6th Ashtakam, Nainam Galada Shrudharaya, Vadanam Gadgada Ruddha Gira, Polakai Nichitam, Bapakada, Tabanama Grahana Bhavishyati. So at this time, at the Nama Bhasa or Nama Pradha stage, we still continue for the Suddhanama, pure chanting. And I'm just theoretically saying for myself. But if I chant Suddhanama, all these ecstasies will be manifested just as Brahma has experienced. So the great souls, many great souls has done it, has realized it. We simply have to have full faith, follow in their footsteps. Thank you so much for giving. I'd like to open for now, any comments, questions, corrections, please. It's a very advanced subject. Brahma has attained all these ecstatic symptoms. He saw that, but only I can share what Prabhupada is, assuring us. That's what I could share. Thank you. Please correct me. Yes, Vishnu Prabhu, please.
Haribol. I know the word looks like malice, Malice, because it looks like, but it's malice. Pronounced malice.
Okay.
Then you mentioned about how Lord Brahma executed penance, and then you mentioned that you recommended that we do penance. So I just wondered if there's any a couple of questions. Are there any particular penances that you are recommending, like Lord Brahma? And on the other hand, you were mentioning about quoting Srila Prabhupada's purport that one should avoid hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam from professional reciters. And if you could elaborate a little bit about what are the symptoms of a professional reciter, because even within ISKCON we have some devotees travel here and there and recite Srimad Bhagavatam for a particular price. And if you had any comment about that, just a few things. And the final thing is that, this verse, the Jnane Priyasam, that verse, it's a very nice verse. It's actually when Lord Chaitanya was speaking with Ramananda Roy, and he asked Ramananda Roy what the goal of life is and what's the process to attain it. Yeah. So Ramananda Roy said many things. He said you should follow the Varnashram system, you should become detached, perform austerity, many things. He even said Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja, but Lord Chaitanya rejected all of them, even that verse, as being external. But this is the first verse he said, I accept this verse here. And then he said, go further. So just a comment. Okay. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you. You spoke so much. I don't know where should I start. Anyway, thanks for fixing. I know that Melis. And the first question is, what is the penance, right? Well, what I understand is we take the essence from it. The different ages, different practices are recommended. But the goal is knowing well the nature of this material world. We are trying to build this material world as a perfect place to live and try to enjoy as much as we can. Well, the teachings explain that one should take only for one necessity. Yajna dana tapa. Yajna means now in this age, of course, we cannot, in this age is simply by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We don't really need to know many mantras. If one have a developed taste for one holy name, that itself will perfect one. However, chanting the holy name, as is mentioned, that one has to be careful, guard his devotion, bhakti lata, by practicing some kind of tapa, and is not allowing illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and meat eating. These are overall, so many things can be aligned to it. So anything which is not favorable for our goal to become a pure devotee of the Lord, we avoid. It's gradually we avoid and accept everything which is favorable to that. To attain our perfection, we should accept. So it's a broader understanding, is wealth is bad or good? Wealth is bad, and at the same time is good also. Depending on how one utilizes. If so, sometimes a very Paramahamsa can be very highly materially highly situated, a lot of money, everything, but he can be Paramahamsa also. Or sometimes a Paramahamsa can be completely rejected, like Goswamis. They can be Paramahamsa also. It's all one state of mind and how one utilizes by following these 6 limbs of surrendering. Bhakti anukula matra karja svikar, bhakti pratikula karja varjanangikar. So it's nothing good and bad. Everything is good when he's used in Krishna's service. Yukta Vairagya. Yeah, because details of how Brahma did is difficult, but at least we know that even the Brahma came, immediately engaged in transcendental activities. Self-realization is the goal of life. He had that ability to accept, but we in the human form of life only we have the ability to understand these teachings and accept in essence from the devotees. That's one thing. And you already mentioned, with different, either Paramahamsa stage or in different phases, in reading Srimad Bhagavatam, you gave the example already. Yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected surrendering everything, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. It cannot happen but until and unless one comes in association of pure devotees. When one hears, the heart changes. I can give one example, one devotee which we are having. Dhanacharya Prabhu writes, austerity is to perform speech, body, and mind. Thank you, Prabhu. So one devotee, I remember, I had a very difficult time in dealing with, because always challenging. But we continuously, patiently did bhakti. We have been patient. He has been patient also. But I know that now for a long time, he has committed that he want to give everything, dedicate everything for the Lord's pleasure. His assets, and everything he wants. He wants to dedicate in Lord's. We are seeing these changes happening in our life also. So there has to be a patient. So how this happened? By regular hearing and trusting. There's one more also you mentioned about these, Bhagavad Katha. I know senior devotee, we must follow the Mahajanas. Mahajanas means the senior devotees who has seen, who has heard, who has learned from the devotee Prabhupada directly in his Pratha. I understand that we must follow everything in Kirtan and Katha. But unfortunately, mind is so, doesn't listen. Many devotees who wants to hear directly from about the intimate relationship of Krishna only. Very much. I won't say much, as long as the audience is there. Maybe among the audience, there's some are qualified to hear also, probably that is being spoken. But otherwise, until and unless we are very, purified, the Lord is the Supreme Person. Understand his Janma Karma Chame Dibyam Evam Yaviti Tattva. So understanding, realizing that I am the soul, and Lord is also transcendental. That part is very much necessary to, before we go for Lord's intimate pastimes also. So not much I will speak on this, but it is of all of you. At the end of the day, it depends on the sincerity of the individual. What I want a pure devotional service in the path of Paramahamsa, because everyone is in their own journey. So we can select, right association, pray to Krishna, give me right association. And I think Krishna will do that. I don't know, Prabhu. That's what I think. Dhanacharya, you want to say something? I know you put the note. Austerity of speech, austerity of the body, mind. Yeah, right. Oh, he's in train. Okay. Thank you, Vishnu Prabhu, for bringing this up. We understand all of your concerns. We understand senior devotees' concern how to keep the parampara intact as established by Acharya, founder Acharya. And that's every one of us responsibility, especially, and the leaders, our responsibility to make sure that it is intact. Many people may not like it. I know they will condemn, they will criticize, may not like it. But teaching and practicing and teaching, saying what is given is parampara system. That will give, perfection.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can I say something?
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. In India, there are so many programs are going on TV. All the Guruji, they Bhagavatam and other kathas. Whenever I used to go there, and I also used to hear those kathas on TV and I think that people listen to all the kathas with great faith. They have more faith in India, I have seen, than people here. We are very materialistic. There, people have more faith, and my mother used to listen to those kathas, and every day I used to feel that I am sitting in some holy place there whenever I used to be with my mother there. So, I feel that it develops faith if people, like little kids, they listen to katha, they develop faith. So that's what I think. So there's nothing wrong with those kathas. And some are very, like, they make money, and that's not good. But most of the time, it's a good thing to hear those kathas, I think.
Yeah, very, very nice point. We are not totally saying that everybody is bad, wrong. But all we are speaking is that by the mercy of Prabhupada, we get an understanding, to discriminate between the gold and rolled gold. That's very much important. And if I don't have the ability to discriminate between gold and rolled gold, then how will I able to speak what is, pure katha or not adulterated? That's what we are talking. We are not criticizing everything. Yeah, we have a practice and we have to be very, very careful. Second thing, in India, people who have taken birth in India, they are pious. India is land of, for the austerity. As it's very easy they will come. Unfortunately, in this world, everything is there, but there's only scarcity of pure devotees. But by the mercy of Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have devotees are coming. And a lot of devotees are coming and helping slowly. But still, there's a lot of demand. The interest is there and demand is there also. But we are not saying that everybody, but for me as a practitioner, I need to be very careful. Who should I hear and who not? Just as, when we put our child into university, college, we invest all of our lives, earn so much of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Will we put them in a school without doing any homework?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if our one life just to earn bread and butter, if you're doing so much of homework, parents go to college, they study everything before they apply, they go to the, personally they go to university, meet everybody, then they send their child. So similarly, spiritual practice also, we cannot just blindly accept. There are, there can be emotions on the mental platform also. There can be emotions on the mental platform also. So, Brahmanda Bhumite Kona Bhagyavanji, Guru Krishna Prasad Pai Bhakti Lata Bees. So, coming in association of pure devotees is also a very blessing, and it's a very, very rare. Very rare. A lot of interest are there, and a lot of saints are there. We're not denying it there. But still, a pure devotee Paramahamsa, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, Paramahamsa is only applicable to pure devotees of the Lord who follows this Vaishnava path. Those emotions, those ecstasies cannot be manifested in other practices. Pretty simple, it's mentioned here. So basic, as a practitioner, as a seeker, we have to have an understanding to discriminate between what is bona fide and what is bona fide, what should be heard, what should not be heard. so that we know we don't get cheated by the name of gold. We shouldn't get the rolled gold. That's the whole thing ISKCON is doing.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It's already 8:58. I'm sorry I took a long time. And very grateful. So we stop it. Vishnugata Prabhani is okay? Is still there? Okay. Vancha kalpatarvyascha kripa
Vaishnavibhyo
Vaishnavibhyo